now. Doc, how should we proceed at this point?
I believe that we should have a national water transport company of some sort, to seed the sector. Something like the state transport company that we have, I also think that if I had my way, we should ban canoes. Those small dugout, canoes should be banned. I think immediately we should do an assessment of the situation and perhaps send the Navy to areas where we think, I'm sure there are some areas where people's lives are in danger, on a daily basis. And I think that, in the short term, the Navy should help us out, while we look at boats, for example, that are fit for purpose. We need a licensing regime for boats. We need regulations. Operators need to be trained and licensed properly. And I think that generally people who live in those areas need education, so awareness creation is important. And so I think that, again, as I said before, this should be a wake-up call for us to do things differently. The same way we police our roads and we have MTTU and all that, we need to have pay attention to water transportation, on the Volta and and other inland water bodies, And I think that I didn't have a time to, I didn't take a look at the maritime, the act. I haven't seen it, but I'm sure that I think I was saying that it's not really fit for purpose. We probably need to look at, something that broadly covers inland water bodies, and make sure that we have a regulatory framework so that we can save lives.
That's good. In fact, when you look at the Act, in terms of when it's defining what a watercraft is, it excludes canoes out of it.
Yes, but so, in its real definition of what watercraft is, includes canoes.
Yes, but it appears in the regulation, they were trying to avoid...
They avoided the canoes and the boats.
I believe we should ban them.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
These small canoes with the pole.
And then the olden type is.
You don't seem to agree on that point.
It's unfortunate. We can't ban them. Why? Because you see, you are able to afford to go on. Yes, yeah, yacht, no. And I'm more friendly.
Make a yacht.
That is ours. What we can do is to ensure that they are properly maintained, and that if you are not up to a certain age, as you were talking about, the licensing regime need to be looked at. And then the Transport Ministry and the Maritime Authority and the Ministry of Tourism should be able to attract private investors in the inland water transport system, so that we would have better boats. You understand? If you go to other jurisdictions, they even have taxis on these water bodies. They have Ubers on these water bodies that you can just order an Uber, and it comes and it's a small boat. You are on it and you go. So we should attract, because there is so much there. The people are increasing in number. You understand? The people are increasing in number. Growing up, I had never anticipated in my life that I would travel to the Uti region and would want to go and use the what was the name? Duilma. Pantu. I had
Around Damanko area.
I don't
There was no bridge.
There was no. I never
You enjoyed it.
anticipated that I would go and use it. I still have pictures. And so yesterday when it happened, when I heard the news, I was looking at it. I said, "Hey, so if it had been me, go, if you be quiet."
I crossed the voter lake at midnight before.
Yeah.
I mean, about 11 of us,
Yo,
no life
when
jacket.
we got there, let me tell you this funny thing. When we got there during the campaign, then we all had to go on the Pantu. The security guys and everybody involved came around and we said, we will not allow Alan to go on it. We have to protect our asset. We need to protect the lead. And we're like, but at this time he has to go on it. We're like, we're not so sure. So he had to drive. And the distance, we actually got to our destination before he did. But we were not sure of the safety nature of the Pantu. So we couldn't have allowed the security people call something an asset to be on the Pantu. You get me? So we need to attract investment in that area. And once we are able to do, we would have some of these small boats that will be operating even as taxis. Because people cross it on daily basis. People cross it on daily basis. Every minute you will find people gathering to cross. So it's just like we are operating the bus business we have. Some time back, it was difficult to get a bus from probably the north to the south. It was difficult. If you miss your bus in Kumasi going to Kete-Krachi, you might not get any again. But today, it is not like that. Every minute, there is a bus moving. Why? Because of the private sector investment. We should be able to attract these investments in this area. But after the banning of the canoes, the people would not agree. They will not agree because, see, that is their means of transport. What we can do is to help them improve on their means of transport. They use it also for fishing. Let's not forget, it is not only for the transport business. They use it for fishing. So if you ban the use of it, then what happens to their fishing activities? I do not control. And sorry, just quick one. The distribution of the life jacket. If you go and give the life jackets to individuals in the community, when the person is coming to use the boat, he or she may forget. There should be a system where they have a place they keep them. Once you are getting the ticket to go onto the boat, all right, the operator ensures that you go into that room to get your life jacket to wear. And this happens in other jurisdictions. You will go, you get your ticket. Once you order the Uber that is on the taxi that is on the water body, before you climb onto it, the person hands over a life jacket to you. You wear it before you get on. And so if we have a small container somewhere being mounted by somebody, the district assemblies deposit the life jackets there. Before you get onto the boat, you wear it. Okay. And once you see because of our orientation, when we say we don't calculate children as part of the weight. Let's be real. We don't calculate children as part of the weight.
In fact, in all the incidents we've had, you see that
the number of children are always more.
Yeah, I mean, quite clearly.
And that's where I'm coming from.
I think
so.
You
find a mother who has twins or triplets or a small boy and a sister. They would calculate probably the 14, 15-year-old boy as weight. But those little ones, they don't calculate them as part of the weight. And that is something that we need to deal with. Because you can't go onto into a car or a plane and they will not calculate that child as part of the weight. They will definitely calculate it. But what we have here, now, you understand me? So we need to be able to arrange our people on some of these things.
When I talk about banning,
yes, sir.
This small boat with a long pole. Come on. I think we can.
Some of them, when they are even moving, they'll be fetching the water out of it.
We can do better than that. I mean, at the minimum, look, the same way along our coast, fishermen are now using what do you call it?
Speed
They
engines.
use the engines.
Yes.
We can do better. We can do better.
Outboard motors, yeah.
Yeah, we can do better. We can provide outboard motors. Something. This very crude method needs to stop, and I think we need to stop it. And it calls for some action. I think we should start with stopping the use of those small canoes.
Okay.
It is dangerous.